I am not in a great place. I am in a bad place. I'm in a place where I had some fun in July and August, and we were just passing the time, as you do, until the season started. And me and Jesse walked in one day. I said, Jesse, come here. And we just put together a list. Honestly, we did not pour a ton of time into it. I said, here's how I think the SEC quarterback picture is going to shake out. All right, if I had to rank the quarterbacks coming into the year, this is how I'd have them. Jesse said, oh, interesting. They made up a little graphic. We did a quick segment on it. I thought that was it. Here's the problem with the internet. It's kind of forever. And I, unlike some in this profession, do not go back and delete my bad takes. Truthfully, I forget most of them. So, you know, Teddy Roosevelt a long time ago talked about segments like these when he talked about the man in the arena. People think that quote and that entire story was about something else. It was mainly about preseason quarterback rankings. I am the man in the arena. And I took a stand, and I went where most haters would never go, and I'm paying the price for it. And do I feel a little shame for what you're looking at on your screen there? Do I feel shame for having DJ and Arch and Lenoris 1, 2, 3, none of whom have been top 10 quarterbacks in this league this year? Yes, I feel shame. Do I have plans to apologize? I do not. I do not have plans to apologize. What I will do is I will tell Bradley that on my command, never show that list again, and I'm going to give you a new list. Because I, as of 6:16 p.m. Central Standard Time on this Thursday, October 23rd, I am coming out with updated SEC quarterback rankings. And good for me, by the way, for admitting a mistake. Good for me. I've got Ty Simpson as the number one quarterback in this league. Unfortunately, I did not have him ranked in the preseason. In fairness to me, how in the world could I have? By the way, need I remind anyone, and if I sound defensive, it's because I am, need I remind anyone, notice my eye contact and persistence, need I remind anyone, even after the Florida State game, some of his own questioned him. I didn't hear shouts. I heard whispers. Should we just go to Keelan Russell? This is going to be a lost season. Do we just kind of eat it? Do we look to the future? If you're listening on podcast, I'm wagging a finger at some people. You know who you are. But now Ty Simpson pulled the nose up. He actually wasn't their problem in week one either. We said that on this show. He's the best quarterback in the league, man. He has been phenomenal. 18-1 touchdown to INT ratio. Careful this Saturday. Very careful this Saturday. I got Ty number one. I got Taylon Green number two. This may be a little controversial because his team's not good. Taylon Green's just been phenomenal. This is not shocking. 1,900 yards. Already a little over 1,900 passing yards. He's a 22-5 touchdown to INT guy. About 600 rushing yards as well. I've got a little note here that says he's got more rushing yards than Auburn's leading rusher. He just happens to be the quarterback. He's been great. I hate that his team hasn't been. Ironically, he plays Auburn Saturday. All right, the next one, I had to figure out where to put Diego Pavia. And I think we were a little too low on him in the preseason. One of the biggest valid criticisms that my preseason rankings have gotten this week is we had Diego Pavia too low. Because unlike some of these other guys, we knew about Diego Pavia, and I had him at 10th in the preseason. I am making up for that. I am putting him number 3. He's not a stat monster, although his completion percentage has rocketed up from what it was last year. He's already got 15 total passing touchdowns right now. He had 20 all of last year. So by all discernible metrics, he's a better player this year on everyone's radar than he was last year. That Bama game, they had 2 turnovers down in the red zone, or else they could be undefeated. Now, he was responsible for those. That's why he's not number 2 or 1. But I've still got him number 3. He is the heart and soul of that team, and I don't know how you quantify that, but he belongs up here, I think. I would put Gunnar Stockton number 4. Gunnar Stockton was not ranked in the preseason. I just had nothing to go on. Now, I had Arch number 2 in the preseason. I also had nothing to go on with him. So a lot of people were saying, boy, that sounds inconsistent. No, it's not inconsistent. I thought Arch Manning was a better talent than Gunnar Stockton. I expected more from him. Is that based on his last name and his star rating? Of course it is. What else do you think it's based on? By the way, if you did rely on star ratings out of high school as your generic North Star, it has led you in the proper direction more times than not throughout college football history. So it's not the worst logic. And I've got that guy playing for Steve Sarkisian, so I expected more. I didn't get it. But with Gunnar Stockton, I thought with him, even if he had a good year, it would be later in the year before he really started to play good football. But it wasn't. It was earlier in the year, and they needed him in that Tennessee game. In that Tennessee game, that was his arrival. Like, to me, that was his coming out party. And so he's number 4. I've got Joey Aguilar number 5, and you could argue that Joey belongs higher. I think it's just been an unbelievable ride no matter what. He's the leading passer in the SEC. So like I told you, you could make the argument for him as high as, I think, number 2. I guess there is an argument that he could be number 1. I had to go interchangeable here a little bit, so I'd put Joey at number 5. What's his worst game? This is the most amazing part to me. He hasn't had a disastrous game. The Bama game, maybe? The Bama game, he threw that costly pick down near the goal line. But also, a lot of guys just dropped balls for him last week. I was standing right on the field. I watched it. You guys watched it at home, because standing on the field gives you such a better vantage point, obviously, than multi-million-dollar cameras and stuff like that. He hasn't had a disastrous game. And for a guy who didn't even know he was going to be playing for Tennessee in spring, that's a pretty solid feather in the cap. Hey, really quick timeout. We'll get right back to the video. Do me one favor. Make sure you're subscribed. It helps us keep the show free. It helps us keep the lights on. It helps us keep doing college football year-round, and we appreciate it. All right, back to the video. I would put Trinidad Chambliss number 6. Of course, he was unranked in the preseason. He's had 3 games already with over 300 passing yards. Good luck telling me you saw that coming. Number 7, Marcel Reed. I struggled with where to place Marcel Reed. I will put it to you like this. His ceiling, I think there's still as much room between him and his ceiling as any of these other guys, and he's played really good. Think about how that makes you feel as an A&M fan if the guy who has you sitting undefeated right now, favored in Death Valley on a Saturday night, still hadn't hit his ceiling yet. So, he had 180 against Mississippi State, but had 360 against Notre Dame. So there's some ebb and flow to his game. He'll throw a pickable ball every now and then, but he's a good player. Number 8, we got to put post-injury John Mateer at number 8. This is how you know it's a clown show in the comments. People are making fun of me, some people, are making fun of me for betting Mateer to win the Heisman. Like I was supposed to know he was going to get hurt. What is that? Bots, that's what it is. But yeah, I'm going to put Mateer there. I wonder, because Oklahoma's still in it, I wonder if he just kind of is what he is post-injury, or if there's a slow scaling up of performance level and he can get back to his former injury self, which would have been slam dunk top 5. Boy, it's tough. Once you get past the top 8, we had trouble. I put Bo Perbula number 9. He's been a little turnover prone, but they're still undefeated. I mean, Missouri, well, they got one loss. They lost to Bama, but they are still in the thick of it. We're going to see him this Saturday. He's average to above average performance level. Got a good enough complementary team around him. I'd put him at 9. I'd put Garrett Nussmeier at 10. Nussmeier's not 100%, but he's battling through it. He's 11-5, touchdown to INT. He's not really going to have a ceiling game because his physical limitation will not let him touch that. But if you disagree with that, like what are we looking at right now? Past number 8, it's a lot of ooh. But I'll tell you what's most jarring. No Arch Manning. And in fairness to you guys, some of you did call that out in the preseason. But no DJ Lagway, no Lenora Sellers. And those were my 1, 2, 3. Like I said when we did that segment, I don't mind anyone dunking on me as long as you publicly released your preseason expectations too. Everybody's a genius with the benefit of hindsight. Don't be cowardly. Post your thoughts in the preseason. Some of you did in the comment section. And you'll notice the ones who did and have been talking trash, I've just sat there and liked your comments. Like. But not all of you did that.